Was the Kiwi Buzzsaw able to take out Walter?
Or did Banks write checks his ass couldn't cash?
Gentlemen, raise your beverages. This is an NXT party.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 49 of NXT UK. I am your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And today our special guest for the first time on the NXT party, we've got newest member to the NXT team, good brother, Chris Willis. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Great, man. Thank you for finally being on the show. We've been trying to get you on for a few weeks, but finally, yep. And as per rule, by yourself.
First time.
We're not going to crowd the screen. It's going to be all you and us guys.
Us is.
Me over here and that dude over there.
Yes.
So we're going to start off the show by reminding everybody what the main event is. We've got a Travis Banks promo backstage. I guess, I don't know if he's in the trainer's room or what, but he's by himself, and he's just taping himself off. Talking about how Walter said he was prepared for Pete Dunne, although it seems like in his title defense he wasn't prepared enough because it required help.
Yes.
Or maybe that was being prepared.
Yeah.
Either way, Travis Banks said he is prepared for Walter, and I'm sitting here like, man, Walter used extra people to keep the title with Pete Dunne. Like, if he needs to, it's going to be a 4-on-1 situation. I don't think you are prepared for that.
No.
But we will get to that. That is the main event. I don't think this is worth talking about much, but yeah, that's basically what he did. Was there anything I missed?
No, he was just saying that he's already being seen as the underdog in a match where, like, dude, you're not even a contender in our books over here. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Well, he's definitely the underdog. I mean, Chris, did you think legitimately he stood a chance of winning here?
No, honestly, Travis Banks has no chance against Walter whatsoever.
I mean, that's really easy to say, and you don't have to be a hardcore fan of NXT UK to know that.
You look at the tail of the tape alone. We're either to the tail of the tape in the main event, but we're going to launch right into our first match, which was super impressive, I think.
Yeah.
We have Mark Andrews versus Joseph Connors, who is now in an 18th or 19th different set of tights. Or, you know,
yeah, he's testing out all the new looks he could possibly test out before one of them sticks.
One of them's going to stick and it'll become his lucky ones and he'll start on a winning streak. Otherwise...
Yeah, tonight was not the start of that winning streak.
Tonight was not that night. They were not snazzy enough looking.
Now, I was going into this match wondering who was going to get the win, because both of these guys are coming off of a sizable losing streak. Granted, Mark Andrews' losing streak is mostly being a tag team partner with the worst face of all,
Flash Morgan Webster.
The guy with 3 names.
Needs to be a heel in the worst
He needs to be smacking people in the heads with his fucking
helmet. Yes.
Of course, not the heads. I guess he'll go for the gut.
Yeah.
Probably couldn't put that over their back either because it'd hurt their spine. What'd you think about this opening match, Chris?
The opening match was pretty good. It only lasted about 6 to 7 minutes. I know these two men have great history against each other because they did wrestle each other during the quarterfinals of the first ever UK tournament back in 2017.
Cool.
And I'm not surprised that Mark Andrews won this match. I'm not surprised. Joseph Connors has been on a losing streak for the last few months. I don't know what's going on. Does he really want this? Or, you know, he's been changing every appearance. Like you said, you guys, tights, coats, hairdos. Hey, it is what it is. You know?
He's no longer talking about getting rid of the shiny new toys. And the thing was, I understood that when Cassius Ohno came in, but Cassius Ohno is no longer using the gimmick of destroying the new toys because he's no longer in NXT. Now he is the shiny new toy, and his gimmick is being the best European wrestler, even though he's not fucking European.
Yes.
Or the best British wrestler, excuse me.
But it's working for him. It is just working.
You know what? He has accrued a few losses, but those were mostly meaningless.
But they're impressive. But they're impressive losses. They also made the other guy look really strong in the process.
He always ends up keeping momentum, if not gaining a little bit. So I think they must dig him over there in NXT UK, or they're just building him up to lose to somebody big.
Yeah,
one or the other, which I'm fine with because it's Cassius Ohno.
I still wouldn't be against him moving up to the main roster and teaming back up with Cesaro as King of Wrestling, the Kings of Wrestling.
I just wish for better for Joseph Connors.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's got a wicked moveset. We didn't see his not ripcord, but where he jumps in from the apron to do the bulldog.
He tried it, but he failed.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that, but we did get to see his sunset buckle bomb.
Yes.
Which was awesome, because he when he puts him in, I guess this is going to be standard now, he stands him up.
Yeah.
And comes off of that with that back. This was sweet. New move of the night. I've never seen this before. A back body drop into a face buster. And if you don't understand how that can be done, I can't explain it to you. Watch the match.
Yeah, it's very crisp and very flowing. That's what I'll say about Joseph Connors. He tries to show us something new each match, except for the whole thing where he actually puts their shoulders on the mat.
Well, the problem here was he went for the pinfall after the back body drop face buster, got a near fall. Then he goes for the don't look down. He should have gone straight into the don't look down.
Yeah.
But Mandrews counters that with a roll up. He doesn't get a pinfall off of that, but he gets up and rule number one.
He breaks general rule number one.
You don't try to vertical suplex.
Yep. Chris knows. He was like, you don't try vertical suplex Mark Andrews.
Everybody should know this by now. So Joseph eats a stun dog millionaire, which I still hate the name of that move, but he goes up top and hits a shooting star press that he calls Fall to Pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Andrews gets the victory. I guess Mark Andrews has got the better upside coming off of this with a win, but honestly, both of these guys needed it so bad.
The Download Festival is just eating him up, though. Like, initially when the crowd saw him, they were just kind of shrugging him off, but by the end of it, they're all waving their arms and singing along to his theme and everything. He won them over.
At some point, I don't even care if it's a jobber that doesn't get an entrance or a name placard. Like, Joseph Connors needs a win.
Okay. So, where do we go with Mark Andrews from here, Chris? Do we have a different feud for him? What do we do?
I honestly, tell you the truth, I don't know. Honestly, he's in matches left and right every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Well, if Eddie Dennis wasn't injured, I'd say that's where you go next.
Yeah, seriously.
But I guess not. You got to find a heel, maybe Wolfgang or Mark Coffey.
Yeah.
Instead of Joe Coffey, because I think he's already had a feud with Joe Coffey.
Yeah.
Or at least a match.
Well, I think they all did. I think it was Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster had a little bit of a feud going with Gallus at one point.
Yeah, early on during the NXT.
That was the initial feud, I believe. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Because Coffey Brothers and then Wolfgang ended up joining into that.
Oh, here we go. Ilya Dragunov.
Dragunov.
Put him in a 2 or 3 matches with him.
Yep.
Boom.
Captain Lariat.
I would love to see that because I think Dragunov should be a heel. He's fucking too. He looks too coked up, man. His entrance is easily heel entrance.
Actually, I think
red eyes and shit.
Well, wouldn't that be kind of like a weird oxymoron if you just put into a feud with Ligero? Because, like, a bull versus a guy who looks like he drank too much Red Bull.
I think we've already seen that match. I don't want to see it again. So, coming off of this, we go outside where we've got the Hunt being wild animals.
Yep.
Just banging on shit. They're pissed. Probably pissed about Gallus. And in comes Dave Mastiff. And he's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? And that's pretty much it.
And Wild Boar like, rah, 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 and Primate's like, no. And then the Mastiff's like, yeah, all right.
He just leads them off.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What do you think about this, Chris?
I thought the outside backstage segment was decent and tolerable, building up the story between the 6 men. Between Gallus, that's all I can really say.
There's really not much else to it. It's just pretty much them going after Gallus at this point.
Yeah, so this looks like a 6-man tag, and spoiler alert, yeah, it's going to be a 6-man tag. My last note for this is, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, whoever sets up the fucking base for that download festival,
yeah,
man, I'm hiring them, dude. Because those those bars temporary walls that they set up around this place are just they're legit, man. They are fucking walls. So anyway. After this, we get Zach Gibson and James Drake, the grizzled young veterans, and they come out, and to change things up a little bit, they go to the stage instead of the ring to cut their scathing promo on the crowd.
Even better so, they have the plastic shopping bags on their feet because they do not want to mess up their designer shoes in the muddy grounds of the Download Festival.
So yeah, this was actually a little bit refreshing from these guys. Every time they come out, it's the same promo, saying the same things. A lot of words that say absolutely nothing, really, until they get to the end talking about, soon-to-be most prestigious champions in all of WWE.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the whole promo said. This time, they actually dig in on the crowd a little bit, and it's a little fun. Yeah. I dug it. What'd you think about it, Chris?
I thought the promo was excellent.
That basically tells them that they need to stop wasting so much money on these concert tickets and start investing in deodorant.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point, they just call him Smelly. He said, "But don't get mad at me. Like, I avoided you people on the bus long before I knew what sweat was.
Yep.
Or could spell sweat or something like that." My favorite part of the promo was that they got the crowd to cheer for him because they told the crowd not to cheer for them.
Yes.
And I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get, if you hate Gallus, put your shoes up. I think maybe it really was muddy.
Yeah, it probably was.
So,
I don't want to step in mud without my shoes.
Yeah. Not one of those clean arena floors.
No, it wasn't.
After this, we get a video package, sort of a promo for, spoiler alert, next week. We've got Piper Niven and Rhea Ripley. Fucking finally. They've been building to this match, and I bet this match doesn't even have a solid finish. And this is going to end up with a match between the two of them at Cardiff.
Yep. But because your predictions are so great. Hey, how's that breakout bracket of yours going? Because mine and yours, we're still in good, but he's gone already.
I'm completely gone. I had Joaquin Wilde taking it to the end, winning it. And he got eliminated in the first round. To be fair, everybody had him winning that match.
Oh yeah, because Angel Garza pulled out some sick shit. So if you guys haven't watched that yet, watch our What's NXT tape we did last night. So that was actually a really good one as well.
But back to this show, I've got Piper Niven over Rhea Ripley, and it saddens me a great deal to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't really know. I want to say it's going to be like a double count out. At least the first time around. Or the match just gets thrown out because they go into a mosh pit or some shit.
If this is the match, and this is the one and only, and it's the end of the feud, then I'm saying, yeah, Piper Niven. But you're probably right. Probably neither one of them is going to get a victory here. What about you, Chris? You got a prediction?
I feel like this feud, it's finally 3 months in the making. We're finally getting this match. I feel like the feud has been lukewarm this whole time. It was never red hot.
Yes.
It was never cooking with gas at all whatsoever. We're finally getting the match. I'm going to agree with Jerry with this. I think it's going to be a count out, or a fuck finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a fucky finish. But I don't know. Maybe Piper Niven wins in a way that gets Rhea Ripley a rematch or something. After this, we've got a tweet by Johnny Saint, and this is where we make it official, the 6-man tag match. We'll have Gallus, that's the Coffee Brothers, Mark and Joe, and Wolfgang versus Mastiff and the Hunt. That is the Wild Boar and the Primate.
Yes.
Let's say Jay Melrose and...
you got it. Do it.
Mitch
Mike
Connors.
Hitchman.
Mitch Connors.
Mike Hitchman.
I believe he goes by Rampage now.
Uh-huh.
He goes by Rampage now.
What?
He goes Rampage? What?
Oh. No, Mike Hitchman, he's just the Wild Boar now, but he was Mike Hitchman, the Wild Boar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh,
or the Wild Boar Mike Hitchman. Either way, that's going to happen in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
After this, we've got our our second match of the night.
Second match of the
Women's match, Killer Kelly versus Xia Brookside. This is revenge by Xia for Killer Kelly leaving her in the ring to get demolished by Jazzy Gabbard a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's what we get. That's our feud going in.
Pretty much.
At least there's a little bit of a story.
It looked like she was going to be serious for a second. And then she started doing an airplane thing. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Normally she does the airplane sooner, I think.
Yeah.
But
she's giving the death glare to Killer Kelly.
But then she looked uncomfortable. Like she gave her the death glare, but she's like, oh, that's weird. Why should I do that?
Why am I doing this? I'm supposed to be bubbly and fun.
Yeah. Then she goes flying.
Yeah. Then she goes flying.
And you'd think she'd lose off of that, but she doesn't.
Nope.
I don't have any. This was a match. This was okay.
Killer Kelly isn't looking very killer right now.
I thought she looked pretty good for the first half of this match.
Well, she looks great in the match, but in the long run, you can look great in the match and still lose.
People gotta lose.
Joseph Connors has been proving that a lot.
In order to have winners, you got to have losers. Otherwise, you have a lot of funky finishes and nobody's happy.
That's so profound.
It's true, though, man.
If you're not first, you're last.
You've got to think about the numbers. You've got a roster full of people, and you've got certain spots. And not everybody can be main event, and main event guys are the ones that are likely to win the most.
Yeah.
And for every guy that's 7-2, you've got a guy that's 2-7.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have it. Otherwise, you have a lot of fucky finishes where nobody wins, or both parties win, or both parties lose, or
But
whatever.
After a while, you start wondering why this person's here when they don't have any wins at all.
Because you have to have people that don't have a lot of wins in order for people to have a lot of wins. This is math, people.
There's a big difference between a lot of wins and none.
Here's the problem. The only way to avoid this is to bring people in on a single match basis. Just jobbers. But the problem is, you can only get so much momentum off of jobbers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have to start beating people on the main roster. In order to beat somebody, somebody has to be beaten. And everybody's going to have somebody that's rooting for them that gets pissed off when they keep losing and losing and losing. Well, somebody's got to lose and lose and lose.
All right, so what's the upside for Xia Brookside at this point, Chris? Are we going to see her in title contention somewhere down the line? Or what do you think is going to be a master plan with her?
I guess she still has unfinished business with Jenny and her bodyguard.
Jazzy.
Jenny and Jazzy, yeah.
So my first note is that they actually come out to the stage to view this match. They don't actually get directly involved, but they do have sort of a distraction where Killer Kelly goes for the roll-up, but it's a near fall. Xia gets out of it and goes almost immediately into a code breaker and gets the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. So Xia gets her revenge. I expect this is the end of this feud. And yeah, it's going to lead right into either her versus Jenny or her versus Jazzy. Either way, I feel like she's just fodder for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag give Killer Kelly a chance, please.
I was about to say, Killer Kelly needs to do something at this point. Maybe change the atmosphere. Maybe she goes over to
NXT.
And just for NXT for a little bit and see if they can do something with
her. Yeah, she'll go over there and be a jobber. They just
pretty much.
She's got to pay her dues. When she catches on, that's when she'll start getting wins. But so far, she doesn't really turn a crowd.
So, from two women that we actually moderately like seeing on NXT UK, we have one we flat out despise.
So we get an interview with Toni Storm, who is continually just talking like she's on an acid trip. I don't know how to repeat. Like, what should she call the belt? Shiny. And she is talking about Kaylee Ray and how Kaylee Ray won the Battle Royal and she has an opportunity whenever she wants. Apparently, they didn't say this before the Battle Royal, but now it's up to Kaylee Ray to decide when she wants to cash in. much like Money in the Bank contract, for a title opportunity, but she's not letting anybody know. And Tony's like, well, that's fine because it's Tony time all the time and blah, 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 and this and that. And fucking, I'm tired of Tony Storm in these interviews. Good news is it won't be long. Let's see, was it 2 weeks or 1 week?
She said she'll be in action in 2 weeks. So that says to me that she's going to be just in pretty much a jobber type situation probably, and like Kaylee Ray's going to make her presence known, but she's not going to do anything about it. She's going to be very Brock Lesnar-ish.
Yeah, so I see Kaylee Ray possibly at Cardiff, but I'm hoping beforehand. I'm hoping Kaylee Ray can take it from Tony Storm beforehand, and we can have Kaylee Ray versus somebody awesome at Cardiff. Maybe Kaylee Ray versus Piper Niven.
Did you just call Piper Niven awesome?
Well, I think it would be better than seeing Tony Storm versus Kaylee Ray at Cardiff.
Well, yeah, it would be. Pretty much anybody versus, like, other than Tony
Probably
Storm.
what we're going to get, folks.
Yeah.
So, after this, we get our third match of the night. Noam Dar versus Ligero, who now has shoulder horns to go with his mask horns. And the way he wears these is this, I don't know what to call it. It's like 10% of a vest.
It looks like
just
half of a sports bra is what it looks like.
It doesn't work. It's just short enough up here that it lets his nipples poke out, and I'm like,
He looks like the Legion of Boobs.
just wear a vest, dude. What's with the shoulder horns? I don't get it. They get in the way, and they constantly look like they're trying to creep up his neck.
Yeah, seriously.
So, yeah. At this point, he just looks like a horny, uncircumcised dick.
My God.
But somewhere during this match, Kenny Williams comes out not looking much better. He looks like a lumberjack with a steel chair. He brings the chair so he could sit down and observe the match. And of course, this is because Noam Dar approached him last week after his loss, talking about he wants to take him under his wing and help propel him into victory. My only note here is basically the end where Noam Dar fakes a knee injury. Like, he comes off the top rope going for a stomp across Ligero's leg that's on the bottom rope, and Ligero pulls away, and he double stomps both his knees and then starts selling a knee injury. But then when the ref turns his back, he looks over at Kenny Williams and he's like, dude, give me the chair. Like, he's not selling an injury. And then the ref turns around and he's like, oh, my knee. And then the ref turns back and he's like, hey, man, give me the chair. And Kenny Williams actually gets up, takes the chair, brings it over to Noam Dar, and gives it to him, but he won't let go.
Yeah.
And that's just enough of a distraction so that when Dar turns around, Ligero does a wheelbarrow roll-up and secures the pinfall victory.
Yeah.
This was a fun match in between, a little bit.
Well, a lot of little slices of comedy out of Noam Dar. He's actually very comical as a heel. I like him.
Yeah, really good. What did you think about the match, Chris?
The match was good for what it was. It's starting to get a little old with Noam Dar trying to fake that knee injury. It's like, okay, dude, it's kind of getting old. And I noticed when he tried to fake it the first time to make sure the ref wasn't looking, the ref actually saw him not holding his knee. I'm like, dude, you see it right there. Like, he's faking.
It's a delicate ballet. Sometimes you gotta excuse them.
Yeah.
Especially the refs. They don't get any of the...
I guess it was me nitpicking. I'm sorry.
Well,
no, you're not wrong. Like, it should be choreographed
right.
better, but it is a delicate ballet. Sometimes it's not timed right. And sometimes it's not the ref's fault either.
Nope.
So, I think the refs are the unsung heroes of these matches.
Poor ring, you know, where they're at.
So after this, we get an announcement for next week. Grizzled Young Veterans, that's Zach Gibson and James Drake versus Mustache Mountain. That's Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. Thank God I remembered all the names. For the Tag Team Championships, next week. Awesome. Who you got?
I'm thinking Mustache Mountain's actually going to get the belts this time.
What about you, Chris?
Mustache Mountain.
I think if anything, they will actually drop them at Download Festival, which is going to be kind of weird.
Now here's where I got my point.
Yeah?
at NXT Takeover or NXT UK Takeover Blackpool.
Yeah.
Above everybody that picked Mustache Mountain, and
because
I said, fuck you guys, grizzled young veterans.
Grizzled young veterans.
But let me tell you what, I agree, man. There's nowhere left for these guys to go with these title belts, and I made this argument a week or two ago, and I think it's time. So Mustache Mountain for the win at the Download Festival.
And the way they're bashing the fans and everything, and the fact that they're going to be right in front of those fans and drop the belts to them. That place is going to explode.
So we get 3 episodes at the Download Festival.
Yeah.
The second of the 3, the main event, is Walter versus Travis Banks for the WWE UK Championship. We're about to get to that, right? The third hour, the third week, is the Tag Team Championships as the main event. So for the people that sat there for 3 hours watching this show, their ultimate main event is the Tag Team Championships over top of the United Kingdom Championship.
Well,
the only reason they did that is because Mustache Mountain's going to give the feel-good moment to go home.
Exactly. That's going to be the go-home moment.
So based off of that alone, I got to say, yeah, Mustache Mountain takes the win there.
That is the most logical thing I've heard come out of you in quite some time.
I know it took a little bit to get all of that out, but I had to pull you into my thought process here. Yeah, totally.
It was worth it. So. Guys!
What?
Main event!
Support! No DQ!
Now, we're on to the main event. And of course, the main event tonight, Walter versus Travis Banks for the WWE UK Championship. And, okay, if it's a spoiler, I don't know why you're already watching the show. Travis Banks does not win this match.
No.
Walter comes out by himself. He doesn't need anybody else from Imperium in this match. God help him if he did.
Yeah, seriously.
The tail of the tape says that Walter not only has 7 inches on Travis Banks, and that's in height, not depth, and 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And when you look at him in the ring, it is
evident,
legitimately David versus Stuart Little. Or, yeah. It's not Goliath versus David. It's David versus Stuart Little.
You've got the Austrian Anomaly versus the Pee-wee Buzzsaw.
Yeah. He's tiny.
Yeah.
So I've got a few notes here, mostly at the end of the match. What do you think about the main event, Chris?
The main event was really good. I really enjoyed it. Sucks it was only 9 to 10 minutes, but you know, Travis Banks was really working on the leg mostly of the match. That's what I'm really going to say here. So,
well, I mean, I think it was 12 when all was said and done. It was like 2 minutes left by the end when the pinfall happened, but it started off with 14 minutes after the bell rang.
Yeah.
So I'd say it was a 12-minute match. That's not bad for a main event on NXT UK television. It would be terrible for a main event at Cardiff. But 12 minutes isn't bad for this. Travis Banks manages to buzzsaw his way. Just a lot of kicks to the legs. A lot of kicks to the legs. And that's the only way he got any real offense in this match. But for the most part, Walter just overpowered him. And he did it all the way up till the end. He came back. He big booted him, Travis Banks, off of the apron onto the fucking guardrail. And then instead of throwing him back in the ring, he picks him up and power bombs him onto the apron, rolls him into the ring, gets in the ring, does the power bomb Nummer eins, power bomb number 1, the most basic of power bombs. But for him, it works. We don't get the gay teeter totter pin.
Nope.
He does a regular pin, 1, 2, 3. Walter, of course, retains. This is extremely predictable. It was fairly entertaining for the match, but knowing that Travis Banks didn't have a chance in hell of winning this match, no matter what, at the very least, if Imperium had to come out and cause him the loss, but it wasn't necessary. Any other notes?
my main thing about this main event was the fact that, if anything, it just served as footage for somebody to watch to see where Walter is actually somewhat vulnerable at. You saw him take a lot of different kicks to the legs, which is evident. He's a guy that size. You want to go for the legs anyway. Yeah, so basically, it's a teaching video for anybody who wants to go against Walter.
No, it's not, because he lost.
Yeah, but at the same time, they say it's like, okay, watch out for that drop kick, which I was already screamed in a berserker like.
You could also say that it's a great strategy to just non-stop go after the head.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to knock him out.
Yeah.
And I don't care how big you are.
I don't know. If you go after somebody's head enough, they may just fall over you on out of a cage.
All I know is this: when I play a wrestling game, if all else fails, all my moves center around the head because I'm going to turn it red. I'm going to bust you open, and I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah.
Because
no mercy.
Because that's just the way it goes. Otherwise, you want to work over the body or something. Working over the legs sucks. And he had to drop dozens of kicks just to get Walter vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
No.
So, I say the strategy is shit. Shit strategy. They always say it's supposed to work, but it never fucking works. Especially for Travis Banks.
So, who do we see as being the next potential opponent for Walter at this point?
The only person I really have is Dave Mastiff.
I was about to say Mastiff, but right now he's in his feud with Gallus.
It's only going to take next week, or 2 weeks from now, or whenever the fuck it is. One match, that ends it, and then he goes on for Walter.
I still want to see Joe Coffey. Like, the first time Walter showed up on an NXT event, he damn near kicked Joe Coffey's head off. And we have gotten absolutely no resolve out of that.
You know what we're going to get? We're going to get Ilya Dragunov as a babyface versus Walter. That's what we're going to get.
Whoa.
I see that kind of push.
I am not excited by that match at all.
I'm not either, but maybe they'll find a way of getting us pumped for it. Probably put him up against Bartel or somebody first. Bartel...
right into the main event.
Yeah. I was about to say, he'd have to go through the rest of Imperium first. That's what I think should happen anyway with, anybody that's going to be challenging Walter at this point.
He's hot off his entrance into NXT UK. He's got nothing but wins. Put him right into the title picture and let him lose. I think that's how it should go. Don't build him up anymore. He doesn't need it. Just put him right into the title picture. Maybe he gets a win or two on the way to Cardiff, but put him right into the title picture. Walter beats him at Cardiff, and we move on from there.
I'm actually anxious more to see first Dragunov versus Devlin.
Devlin would be a good choice for Cardiff, but I think it would look much like the match did tonight. Be just Walter taking a lot of kicks to the legs, then eventually overpowering him and winning.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that brings us to the end of the main event. And here on the NXT party, we like to rate the main event using good old-fashioned NXT. So, as our special guest, Chris, out of 5 spots of NXT, what do you rate the main event?
Well, like you said, it was like a 14-minute match. Walter selling the knee, the great psychology. There was great storytelling. I'm going to give this match 2 3/4.
Yeah.
Better than middle of the road.
With me, I'd probably say about the same thing. Even though this is the main event and there's title implications, we did not see Walter losing the fucking belt to Travis Banks.
The predictability of it.
You know what would happen if Travis Banks somehow pulled off a victory? He would get so damn excited that he would jump onto the second turnbuckle and re-injure himself and have to vacate the belt.
I agree with you guys, but I'm going to give it a 3. 3 spots of T, and the reason why I'm not giving it an extra quarter coming off the back of a great show, because it was a good show, but not a great show.
It was a good show. It set up a lot for next week.
I'm going to give it that extra quarter spot of T, because what impressed me about this match was that Travis Banks and Walter could put on a 12-minute match that wasn't boring at certain points. It's going to be entertaining probably towards the beginning somewhere and definitely at the end, but those middle parts where they extend a match.
I was about to say, the end of the match was a full-on spot fest.
So, I'm going to give it a 3. I was slightly more impressed by this. Otherwise, yeah, it felt very flat for a title match.
The only way that match could have been made any better is if he somehow pulled off the slice of heaven on Walter and Walter just kicked out.
Didn't he hit it and Walter rolled under the ropes?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was about to say, but he didn't get the pin. Like he didn't get the pin on him. If he got the pin and he got his shoulder up or something and just had the crowd eating out of his hands for that 5 seconds. Like, holy shit, this is actually happening. Like, did he catch him off surprised enough and then he just kicks out? Maybe that would have put my score up a little higher, but otherwise, no.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT Party. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to join us on a future episode of the NXT Party, hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or leave a comment down below. And let us know how we can get a hold of you, and we can put you up on the big screen here where Chris is. Chris, again,
yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show. First time, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully not the last.
We love having you on here. You're very boisterous.
Yeah, now our goal is to get you through the rounds of having you on with everybody else from the NXT team.
Yep.
At some point or another.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we do things.
Yep. What do you have to plug?
Follow me on Facebook, Christopher Willis. Follow me on Instagram, Chris J. Willis 86. Follow me on Twitter at GB Chris Willis 86. Follow my Facebook group, AEW Nation, that we only talk about AEW news and other stuff. We're almost close to 8,000 members.
That's awesome.
Jeez.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being on the show, and if you'd like to contact me on Twitter to be on the show in a future episode, you can find me at nodq.com/Stefan. That's Stefan. If you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, Osborne. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
At NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point. That's pretty.
We didn't even plan that. He just knew.
Awesome. It's gotten to the point where we're able to do the exclamation point. This sounds glorious. But, yeah, just join us there. A whole bunch of different discussions, memes, or anything. But don't try to get us on Facebook as friends. It won't fare well for you.
Yeah, find us on Armbar, not on Facebook.
Spoiler free.
Yeah, you can also find me on Instagram at osborne.stefan. I don't know why I have Instagram, but I do. And I have more followers than I possibly could imagine on Instagram. I don't even do anything. It just happens. Probably because I plug it on here and people are like, ooh, he's got Insta, but I don't post any pictures. I'm sorry, guys. So those are the plugs. The other plugs are for our channel.
Aftermatch Wrestling.
Aftermatch Wrestling. So if you like this video, click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, please click the subscribe button that's over there underneath Jerry. And share us with your friends. There's a share button in there. You can share us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You can even share us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. That's our channel. You can find these videos first and in high definition. We are at 88 subscribers. We are on our way to 100.
Yep, we need 12 more.
12 more subscribers, and we're going to start doing our What's NXT show. That's our NXT review live on NoDQ.com's channel. And 12 more. That could be next week. That could be the week after. So what you want to do is subscribe to NoDQ and click the bell icon, and that'll let you know when we go live. So Thursday morning, 7 o'clock, maybe you're cooking breakfast.
French toast.
French toast and What's NXT. Ain't nothing better.
No.
Name a more iconic duo. I dare you. So
Bacon.
I think that's all the plugs. So, for the good brother, Chris Willis, for the general, Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thanks for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.
Cheerio.